Have you been in a situation where you thought it could have been done better? We're going to be talking about it should be. After the intro, let's get it.
You have one life. You got a calling and a purpose. Welcome to the Witness to Power podcast, the show that encourages and inspires you to be who God has called you to be. I'm your host and digital evangelist, Ashley Sims.
What's going on, everybody? Hey, it was a situation that happened the other day, and it got me thinking. I know in life we come across situations and things and events that sometimes we feel like, man, this could go this way or this could go that way because processes are in play that this should be done this way and should be done that way. And I came across a situation like that the other day, and an individual came in and he felt like that the situation needed to go his way. So oftentimes when we say it should be, we're trying to get things done that are favorable to us or for you, for any situation there is outside of the normal standard process and protocols. For this reason, sometimes we'll say that, man, it should be. And oftentimes when somebody asks me a question, when I'm answering a process question, well, I say sometimes should be, because oftentimes, again, there is a situation, there is a protocol in play for the process that we need done. And sometimes people don't want to hear the real reason that they have these processes in play. And I admit there are some things that seem silly to me that it just clogs process. But sometimes the people who put them in play, it made sense to them. But if we came to a situation where the processes are already laid out, we have to handle it by following their protocol, wherever the information they give us to do. But when someone gives you the answer to fulfill or get handled the situation that's happening, don't gripe about it. Just follow the processes and get it done. Well, an individual came in and the individual was quite upset, quite angry. I would say furious by the time it got to the end of this thing. So he needed some information to get verified in the system. He felt because he had done his part that it was already done. But when he came across a member, part of a team that was here to review his process, the individual told him, hey, you have one last step before this could be done. But the individual looked at this individual, oh, why can't you do it? Of course, that person said, that is basically not my lane. I handle this process. But to get your situation fixed or handled, then you need to contact these individuals and they will verify it for you, and then you can move on with the process. However, this was not good enough for this individual. Individual was enraged so much so that individuals that is not in the conversation, we started to look in. It's like, whoa, what's going on? But we stayed out of it. We just made sure the individual was not going to do harm to this other individual that was handling the situation, because this person got furious. They began to hit their hand on the desk, agitated, very agitated, and wanted to speak to somebody. However, this process was not handled in this office that we were in. That wasn't good enough. Individuals started spouting out, hey, I'm such and such, I did such and such, I should. Begin to exercise a privilege to excuse protocol to bend in his favor. But that was not going to fix the problem. So an individual came in to step in because this person was beginning to be unrealistic in their expectation and get very furious. So the individual came and talked to the person, said, hey, what's going on? And verified the information that the other person was giving the person who needed the service. That wasn't good enough. Again, to rile up against this person, but he had no idea who this person he was talking to was or position, and began to do the same thing to him, to rile up, get upset. say things that not nice, began to demand that this individual change protocol to fit his situation. I remember this individual keeps saying, it should be, it should be, it should be. And I began to think, wow, they are giving you the answer to fix this problem, but you're not hearing because you feel like it should be. Begin to feel privileged because, again, he began to speak about things that he represent, who he was, and what his past was. Not knowing the individuals around him. This is key. So he said one thing, and so the other individual that he didn't know who he was said something, and the individual said, you don't have to follow this process if you don't want to, but it's up to you. But if you want to fix this situation, this is how it's done. Began to, what's your name? He told the guy his name. He said, I'll do one better. I'm going to go get you my card. Guy came back with his card, read the card, realized this guy was in management. And all of a sudden, his demeanor changed. All of a sudden, he mellowed out. And all of a sudden, he wanted to fix his problem. However, the guy was rattling on and on, not knowing that the people that can fix his problem, it closes within about 3 minutes at that time. And the management told him and said, hey, you got 3 minutes to make this call to get it done. So what I'm saying is the situation could have been handled minutes ago. The guy could have had it done if he would listen to reason. However, it should be. Guess what? That's not the process in place. Sometimes in life, that's how we feel. When we're going through, it should be this, it should be that. I'm putting in the time. This is what I did. I worked. I get my tithes. I pray. It look like the people that serve the devil are just getting away with things. It should be. It should be. No, it's just the way God planned it in our life. And we have to understand that he gives us a word, a season, and we got to execute on it. And sometimes the path he tells us to go or the assignment he gives us, we don't like it because it's unfavorable to us. Because sometimes we look at other people and how they're getting along. That's not how it should be. But I said, this reminds me of a servant in the Bible in 2 Kings 5, Naaman. And I'm going to read verse 1 so you can understand. Sometimes privilege can get in the way. Your status quo of what you accomplish, your degrees, your titles, your whoever you are, the family you represent, can sometimes hinder a blessing and hinder you from going to the next level. It says, now Naaman, captain of the host of the king of Syria, was a great man with his master and honorable, because by him the Lord had given deliverance unto Syria. He was also a mighty man of valor. But it says, but he was a leper. Now I'm going to jump on down to verse 9. And so when Nahum was given instruction to go see a prophet, so this is where this picks up. So Naaman came with his horses and with his chariot and stood at the door of the house of Elisha. And Elisha sent a messenger unto him, saying, go and wash in the Jordan 7 times, and thy flesh shall come again to thee, and thou shalt be clean. But Naaman was wroth, and went his way. And he said, behold, I thought he will surely come out to me, and stand and call on the name of the Lord God, and strike his hand over the place, and recover the leper. Are not Abna and Parpa, rivers of Damascus, better than all waters in Israel? May I not wash in them and be clean? So he turned and went away in rage. So listen, this is kind of the same situation it reminds me of when the individual that was upset about the process, he wanted somebody else that was higher up to come to him and fix his situation right there. But he was given a word of instruction that was true, that was also verified by management. However, that wasn't good enough for him until he recognized who gave him the instruction. And so same thing with Naaman. He was mad. He thought because of his position and his situation that the prophet would come out and heal him a certain way. That was his process in his mind. He said, I thought that he would call on the name of the Lord and strike his hand over the place and recover the leper. That was in his mind. Sometimes we can get that way. We can think that, hey, God's going to work this way. I thought because of, well, it should be. Yes, it should be a lot of things. But we got to remember one thing, the one thing that remains the same. That's God, the creator of the heavens and the earth. And our situation he knows about. As long as we go to him in prayer, when he sends a word, let's do it. Because sometimes it's hard for us to see right now because we're in the midst of a situation. We're in the midst of things that are causing us to be uncomfortable or to be, man, it's taking too long for this thing to come to pass. And I know, been in this situation before. Well, I thought it should come this way because I was doing this or I was doing that. It should be happening faster now. But we have to trust in the Lord. And that's where it comes in. Sometimes it's hard for us to see past what's going on because we feeling the pressure around us. Let's continue to just look at God and be faithful unto him. Because sometimes we can feel like it does not happen now, that no one cares or no one is listening or they just can't understand the magnitude of our situations. And when we go to whoever it is, they're supposed to have an answer right now because I need this right now. But let us understand that we all can go through this and we have to step back and be like, okay, God, here I am. I pray that you give me the strength to endure and the peace to go through it. And that's what we need so that we can take action on the thing. In verse 13, he said, and the servant came out near and spake unto him and said, my father, if the prophet had bid thee to do some great thing, wouldest thou not have done it? How much rather then when he saith thee, wash and be clean? So he's telling you, if somebody that you felt like was on your level had told you the same thing, would you not have did it? So what is the difference? The difference is our mindset of how we viewing things. Sometimes some have to speak reason to us. Let us reason together. But let's not make this thing difficult than it needs to be. Sometimes we feel like it should be, but God knows. Let's continue to lean on God and be strong in him so that we can walk worthy of calling, so that we won't get out of character around people that one day we have to turn around and minister to, because, we never know. But I thank God for you. I just want to bring this to you that sometimes things are the way they are, but we have a God that can get us through. So be strong. Talk to you again. Reach one, reach many. Be blessed. Until the next time, have an awesome week. Thanks again for listening to the episode of Witness to Power Podcast. I appreciate each and every one of you. And wherever you listen to this podcast, subscribe, download, leave comments, talk to your people about this podcast and let them know that we are encouraging people to be strong in the Lord in these times, in these troubled times, that there is somebody here that we are supporting the gospel, preaching the word, teaching the word, and being a light in this dark hour. Share it with your neighbor, your friends, your coworkers, your family, and on social media. Yes, and don't forget my book, Purposely Married, 12 Principles for a Happy Marriage. You can get it now on Amazon, or you can go to purposelymarried.com. Talk again. Peace.
Have you ever felt that you've not lived up to your full potential? Or maybe you felt that you have no idea what you truly want out of life, but you feel you can do more than what you're doing now. Then I have the book for you, 21 Steps to Walk in Purpose, to help you shake off the stagnation and fogginess into doing your purpose. Go to walkinpurposenow.com. Yes, that's walkinpurposenow.com and grab your copy today and walk in the purpose that you know is designed for you. Remember, I believe in you. So go and grab your copy of 21 Steps to Walk in Purpose and live the purpose that I know you have within you to live.
Thanks again for listening to another episode of the Witness to Power Podcast. Don't forget to check us out at www.witnesstopowerpodcast.com. And also subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. And be sure to check out the Witness to Power fan page on Facebook. Have a great week.